Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Fadeaway podcast. Of course, my name is Gavin. I'm here with my buddy Tait.
Hey guys, what's going on?
All right, and today we're going to be talking mostly about Vince Carter. He has just retired, so we're going to be talking a little bit of a retrospect of his career, and we're also, to start, we're going to be talking a little bit about the NBA restart. So yeah, guys, of course, we're going to start with some trivia first. So Tait, I'm going to let you ask your question first. Go ahead.
All right. So, for NBA single game offensive rebound leaders. So, there are three people who are tied for first for most offensive rebounds in a single game. Can you tell me all three of them? I bet you can tell me one of them.
I can't tell you all three. I can probably tell you one. Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman, yes.
Okay. I'm going to guess another is Moses Malone.
No.
Really? Well, he's all-time for offensive rebounds, so that was a good shot. Dwight Howard?
Nope. It's someone you would not think of.
I would not think of?
It's 18 is the record of offensive rebounds in a game.
Okay.
And none of them are active players.
None of them are active players.
According to the stat chart I've got here in front of me.
Okay, well, I'm not going to get them, so you can just go ahead and tell me.
Okay, it's Zaza.
Zaza?
Zaza in 2015.
Pachulia.
Yeah, had 18 offensive rebounds in a game.
Is another one Joakim Noah?
No, Joakim he's 19. He's down at the bottom.
Okay.
Charles Oakley.
That doesn't surprise me.
Oakley was rough, man. Oakley was a super good rebounder.
He was also a scrappy dude.
Mm-hmm.
He was like on his teams to kind of be like the enforcer in hockey. If anyone was messing with the small guy, he'd get in there and come start a fight with him. Okay. You ready for mine?
Yeah.
All right. So in the 2018-2019 season,
okay,
what player led the league in scoring with 36.1 points per game?
Are you kidding me? That's a super easy question. That's James Harden.
Okay. I thought it'd be harder.
No.
Well, maybe I should give you a new one then, because I don't feel like that was too hard.
Give me a new one.
Okay. Okay, here's a pretty hard one. You're not going to get this. What team drafted Jeremy Lin? Or was the first team he played for?
I was going to say he went undrafted. So.
Yeah, what was the first team he played for?
It's not the Knicks. So that's wrong. He went Knicks, Hornets. I don't know. Did he play? I didn't know he played for a team before he went to New York. Or he was on a team or tried to be on a team or whatever.
You think you can get it?
Can you give me a hint?
Western Conference.
Western Conference. Okay, so that gives me 15 teams here. I'm going to shot in the dark. The Kings.
That is incorrect.
Correct.
The correct answer is the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either because I go on those NBA trivia sites a lot where you just like fill in the blanks for questions, and it was just one with a bunch of players, and you had to say the team they either first played for or who they drafted by, and first played for was only if they were undrafted. And Jeremy Lin was on there, and so was like Nate Robinson, and he was drafted by the Knicks, stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, so to start off, we are going to be talking a little bit about the NBA restart that's happening July 31st?
July 30th is the first day it comes back.
All right.
And I think everybody's getting tested right now for a certain thing.
And I think didn't like 15 players test positive?
They tested 302 and like 15 tested positive. So, but by the time they report to training camp, they should all be fine. And they're getting that ring thing.
Oh, that monitors them?
Yeah, that monitors their...
There was that meme out there that Chris Paul is finally getting his first ring. Oh, my gosh. All right. The main thing I want to talk about, and you and I previously talked about this, is, and this was brought up to me, but how easy of a schedule that the New Orleans Pelicans have.
Yeah.
So what was the schedule again? Do you have it up?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay.
So for those that don't know, the NBA is doing a little restart, and they're doing in 8 games. 8-game like end of season, so they can get all the teams that are like on the edge, give them a chance to try and play for the 8th seed or get in there. And the Pelicans are the 9 or the 10 right now in the West.
They're the 9.
The 9.
Yeah, the 10
Grizzlies
is the Portland
the
Trailblazers.
Okay. And from my understanding, the NBA wants Zion to be in the playoffs really bad, so the ratings go up. So they gave them the easiest schedule
that we've seen.
That I've seen for any team. They played the Jazz and the Clippers their first 2 games.
So those are tough matchups.
The Clippers especially.
Like I could see them winning against the Jazz. But after that, it's just smooth sailing for them.
The Jazz have a very solid, like, all-around team.
Yeah. So the problem always
with
with
the Clippers, where they have so much star power.
Well, the Clippers are probably one of the deeper teams in the NBA.
Yeah, but they have Paul George.
Besides,
and
like the Celtics. The Celtics probably have the most well-rounded team.
But Donovan Mitchell and Gobert are not
on good terms.
Yeah, that too. But they're not at the same level of Paul George and Kawhi.
Oh no, not.
So,
what the Jazz have going for them is they just have a great system.
Mm-hmm.
So they have some of the best ball movement in the league, along with like the Celtics and Spurs, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But they have so many shooters on the team.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure Gobert is the only one in the starting lineup that can't shoot.
Yeah. And I think they have anybody on that team that could step up and drop 30.
Well, Donovan Mitchell can do that anytime he wants.
Donovan Mitchell, Bojan can do it. He proved that he can do it while he's on the Pacers.
Well, they added him to that team. This year alone, he hit 2 game winners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He hit one against the Rockets and then one against another team.
He's a very solid player, but he got put in a better system basically where
he can get the ball. Yeah, and he's alongside Joe Ingles, who has a very similar play style, which is
like
spot up shooters who can shoot. But I don't know. I just see. So I think their starting lineup at the current moment would be Mike Conley at the one, who he's a pretty good defender, and he's also he's a consistent player.
Yeah,
good finisher around the rim.
Solid.
Yeah. Donovan Mitchell at the 2. They'll probably play Joe at the 3 and Bogdan at the 4, and then Gobert at the 5.
Yeah.
So, and then they have a solid bench.
Don't they have Jay Crowder's not on that team anymore.
No, he has been on that team for years.
I'm trying to think who's that power forward they have. They have a power forward that I can't think of.
They had Derek Favors for a while.
That's what I'm thinking of.
But he's on the Pelicans now.
Okay. But yeah, so they get the Jazz and the Clippers right off the rip. So that could be a tough matchup, tough 2 matchups. And then they play the Grizzlies. And the Grizzlies have John Jaren, sorry. But
Justice Winslow.
I forgot he's on the team.
Valanciunas.
They have a solid team, but I don't think they're going to beat the Pelicans. But they are the seed above them, so. But Zion, in the 10 games or however many games he played, he showed out. So
he did. He's just stupid athletic and stupid strong.
And then they play the Kings, that's a cakewalk.
Yeah.
The Wizards, unless Bradley Beal drops 50.
It's still a cakewalk,
and they still
even if he does.
When he did that in back-to-back games.
Yeah.
He scored 50 2 games in a row, and they lost both of them. Then they played the Spurs, which could be a good game.
Spurs struggled this year.
But the Pelicans are probably going to beat them.
The Spurs had their worst season that they've probably had since Greg Popovich became coach.
Mm-hmm. And then they play the Kings again. So
They
get the Kings twice. They get 2 cakewalks.
Okay.
And then they play the Magic, which is
they're a decent team, but I don't see them beating the Pelicans.
I don't see them keeping up with the Pelicans.
The speed of the Pelicans, because
the Pelicans are so young, dude.
They are, which honestly might hurt them, to be honest, because they don't have that. I think the only
playoff experience.
The only starter on the team who has played in the playoffs is Drew Holiday.
JJ Redick.
Is he a starter?
I thought Jay was. No, I think he comes on the bench. Never mind.
I think he's a 6-man.
It's been a minute, dude. I'm trying to keep my facts straight.
Anyway, but yeah. Other than that, I'm really excited. I think a lot of people are excited, not only because the NBA is coming back, but it's just a form of sports to watch again. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, it's not going to be the same environment because they're not going to have a crowd or anything like that. It's going to seem, for a little bit, for the first start, it's going to seem like pickup games. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
it's going to feel weird, but I think as long as they have commentating and they don't, I think if they mic'd up the players, that'd be really fun.
I think they should.
But you'd obviously have to tell the players, like, hey, you're
no
mic'd
profanity.
Up. Yeah.
This is on TNT.
Yeah. So, but it's the same thing they did with when Peyton, Tom Brady, and Phil Mickelson and Tiger played golf when they mic'd them up and had them, like, you got to listen to them the whole time and listen to them trash talk each other and stuff. I thought that was kind of pretty fun. So, I think it would be really fun to have them mic'd up and have them talking to each other in the game.
Yeah, it's just the thing of it's hard. A lot of times it's hard for a player to
yeah, you think somebody's going to go dunk and get fouled and be like,
yeah, oh, shit.
Yeah, give me that motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But I don't know. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to see how I'm not exactly sure how they're doing, if they're still keeping just the East and West for the playoff bracket or how they're doing it.
I think they're going to keep it the East and West because I think what the reseeding thing did for 1 through 16 was basically if they didn't get to play any games.
Okay, if they just went straight playoffs?
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah. I hope they keep it East and West just because I like the matchups in the East and West. I just think the biggest problem with the current, East and West, format is, like, what if, like, there's been years that the East has been really, really weak except for LeBron. You know what I mean?
That's the way it was for a while. I mean,
yeah.
The Eastern Conference Finals was always pretty good because it was like, well, okay, the Pacers, the Celtics, and a lot of the teams that LeBron faced in the conference finals were good. The 2 rounds before that were not.
Well, back in, like, when he was on the Heat, the East wasn't a weak conference because they had, like you said, they still had the Celtics, they had the Pacers, they had
because it was like the Celtics were kind of like faded out a little bit, and then the Pacers stepped in, and the Pacers couldn't get past LeBron.
No.
And then obviously LeBron's been to.
I don't know. I would say probably after like 2015 is when the East kind of got weakish. Diluted.
But then you got Kawhi that came over and Giannis and they beefed it up a little bit, but not
enough.
Yeah.
But it was already. But then LeBron left. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I think those playoffs, they were exciting. Don't get me wrong. They would have been a lot more exciting if LeBron was still in the East, because then you would have the rematch of Kawhi and LeBron in the playoffs, which we haven't seen since 2014.
That'd be really fun to watch, like prime Kawhi versus
an aging but still good,
still
solid amazing LeBron. But as my point, so I just feel like there's nothing wrong with the idea of, like, the Clippers and Lakers fighting for the championship. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because, like, when you have the problem you run into is if it's a weak conference like the East has been in the past, and you get those in LeBron's last year, 2018. Because the 2019 season, and then this is the 2020 season.
Okay. Yeah.
So the 2017-18 season. Mm-hmm. The playoffs were way more entertaining than the finals. The actual playoffs. Because that was when LeBron got taken to 7 games twice.
With the Pacers in the first round.
And then the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. Mm-hmm. And then on the other end, you had the Warriors going against the Rockets.
16-0, I think.
No, they went up against the Rockets, remember? And it went to 7 games, and then Chris Paul got hurt.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was Kevin Durant's first season where they went.
When they went to the finals. Okay.
When they went 15-1 because they lost 1 game against.
Okay, yeah, because I remember when that happened, and I was just watching it. I was like, man, it's not very entertaining just knowing from the first round that the Warriors are probably going to sweep just about everybody.
And then I would say the most entertaining series of the entire playoffs last year, besides the finals, because the finals was entertaining. The Warriors kept their head in it, but was that first round matchup of the Clippers versus the Warriors, when the Clippers came back from like a 32-point deficit to set the record for large. Yeah, no, it was they were already up like 2-0, I think,
because they took them to 6.
And
Patrick Beverley was harassing Durant the whole time.
Yeah, and my favorite thing out of that whole series was in the last game where Kevin Durant just went off. Mm-hmm. And they did an interview with Patrick Beverley and Lou Will, and they were like, guys, what happened? And they were like, are you serious? Mm-hmm. They have Kevin Durant. He's just in a league of his own.
Kevin Durant is...
They're like, watch him play. We couldn't do anything to stop that. That's just a man on his own island doing whatever he wanted.
Durant is arguably the best scorer of all time.
I'm excited to see if he plays.
Definitive.
I don't know if he will.
I don't think
I've seen some reports that say he won't and some that says he will. So
I don't think it would be smart for him to play.
I don't think either.
Because do
you think Clay? Oh wait, Clay's not going. Never mind.
Clay tore his ACL.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Warriors are even close. But
no, they're like the third worst team in the NBA.
I feel like there's a little bit more of a mental. Yeah, you got to have obviously physical rehab, but I feel like you got to have mental rehab to where you're getting out there again. And what Durant did last year, where he got hurt and pulled his hamstring or whatever.
And then rushed it.
And then went out there as quickly as possible and then ruptured his Achilles.
Yeah.
So he could try to do the same thing and be like, I'm like 80%, and then go out there and do something worse.
If I was a player at his caliber who is just on a new team where the team is still – because their chemistry sucks.
Yes,
their team chemistry
blows.
sucks. But that's the same thing with the 76ers. Like, their chemistry sucks, and they've said it themselves that we don't have the chemistry. But with the Nets, if I saw that team and how they were playing, knowing they're probably not going to go far in the playoffs, I would just sit out. Because there's no reason for him to play and risk injury again.
Mm-hmm.
So,
especially if he's not if he's not 150%, basically. If he's like super confident.
Well, he's never going to be 100% again.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But if he's not confident in himself that he could go out there and play at the best of his ability.
Because, like, which is better? Waiting out a season that's probably a throwaway season with your new stars, and him coming back and putting up maybe 20 points, which is good, but only 20 points, and having a high risk of injury again?
He'd played limited minutes, probably. Like in, I don't know if you watched Last Dance, but
Jordan, when they put him on a minutes
they
restriction.
put him on like 7 minutes a half, basically. He's playing 14 minutes a game.
And it was on the second. Like, right as 14 minutes happened, they would call a timeout and take him out.
Get out of here.
So, and they told him if they didn't take him out that if he played a second more than 14 minutes, then the coach would be fired on the spot.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's smart for him to just sit out. But I'm most just excited to watch basketball again. Mm-hmm. I mean, you and I have been wanting to play basketball for months now. We're hoping the place we usually go to opens up. They're supposed to open up July 1st.
So, a couple
days. I'm on the hopeful side, but I'm honestly don't think they're going to open up. But
it'll be very restrictive if they do. And
I think it's going to be. I think even if they do open up, it's going to be time frames, like from 2 to 4, or from this time to this time. You know what I mean?
Probably their least busiest hours, where they can get the least amount of people in there.
But anyway, all right. Well, if let's say the teams we most expect to make the playoffs, which it doesn't really matter. But who's your pick to make the finals on each side?
Each side. Well, if it goes the way
East and West.
I think I'm going to stick by my decision that I think the Clippers are going to get in the West.
Okay.
They're going to come from the West. It'll go to 7 games, and all games will be within 10 points if they play the Lakers in the conference finals.
Okay.
But I think the Clippers beat them.
And then from the East?
The East, I don't know, dude. The East
I have a pretty easy pick in my mind.
Pretty easy pick?
But go ahead.
Honestly, I want to say the Celtics.
Okay.
Because I think that'd be Celtics-Clippers would be really good. I feel like maybe not the best matchup possible, but I feel like it'd still go 6-7.
So I have Lakers.
Okay.
Because I don't think anyone's beating LeBron. He knows his time is
LeBron.
He knows his time is running out, and so he knows he's
going full tilt, and he's had however months. I think they said 4 months of rest.
Yeah.
Since the last game, so he's going to come.
He
full
wants
tilt.
that fourth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm still betting on the Clippers, but it's stupid of me to bet against LeBron.
Oh, sorry.
I will admit that.
He's hunting. For his fourth. I'm stupid.
Fourth. He's 3-6.
And then from the East, I agree with you. I see the Celtics.
The Celtics?
For the reasoning of recently on YouTube, there's this guy I've been watching who just posts like the best of Celtics. So certain things like best of ball movement, best of dunk, stuff like that. And you watch them play, and they play more like a team than any of their. Like there's no player on that team who thinks they have to show out every game. And you look at the distribution of points in the starting lineup. And yes, there's like Jaylen Brown has like 23 points a game. Jason Tatum is like above 20. But then you have like Enes Kanter, who's also above 10. You have Gordon Hayward, who has like 17. Like, there's no one on that team that's near 30 because everyone on the team.
They share the ball so well.
Yeah, even like Marcus Smart.
Smart I think he has a knack for showing up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. If I could pick any player who's never been an all-star and to like, if I was starting like a starting 5, it would be hard for me not to pick Marcus Smart as my first pick.
As your first pick?
As of non-all-stars.
Has Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum ever been an all-star? Been an all-star?
I'm not sure, but I would still pick Marcus Smart.
Pick Marcus Smart over Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum? Okay.
Because he's more competitive.
He is very competitive.
He's more competitive. He's a better defender than both of them.
Okay.
And he has more hustle than both of them. Okay.
He's kind of like a
Okay, let me say this. If I had to pick a starting lineup of players that are currently not averaging over 20 points.
Okay.
That's a better representation. Okay. And I would also pick Patrick Beverley. But
you have the two like scrappiest guards in the league.
Marcus Smart is one of my favorite players in the league, like right now. Okay. But yeah, I have them playing, and it's really hard for me not to give the Celtics a chance in this series, just with how well. And I feel like LeBron's going to have a hard path to the finals, especially because he's going to have to face teams.
I feel like
probably like I don't know if the Rockets are going to make it far, but
I don't want to say like the playoffs are going to be rigged or anything, but I think the NBA is going to try to get as many games in as possible for the playoffs, if that makes sense.
So the rumor is they're going to be doing best of 3
for the first
for
round.
the first 3 rounds.
For the first 3 rounds?
Yeah, and the finals are going to be 5, best out of 5. At least that's what I've heard.
Okay. Well, I heard best of 3 first round, and then they went to best of 7 for second, third, and finals.
Well, even so let's say it's your way, where it's best of 7 all the way after the first round.
Mm-hmm.
The Clippers, if they go up against the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, which they most likely will, they're either going to win or they're going to lose in 7. I don't see.
Won't happen again, boss.
All right, sorry about that. Tate unplugged one of the mics, and so we had to fix it.
I did no such thing. Didn't happen. Fake news.
As I was saying, though, I don't see the Lakers beating them easily, but I see them beating them in 7.
Mm-hmm.
So, basically, what I'm trying to get at is the Lakers are not a young team anymore. The Celtics team still is. It's a very young team. So I could see even if the Bucks, let's say the Bucks and the Celtics make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and it goes to 7, but the Celtics win. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if LeBron has the steam to go into the finals after a 7-game series and play at his height. You know what I mean? And beat a young team that's excited, or they have young players.
Most of them's first final appearance.
All of them's first final appearances. The starting 5 at least, because Kemba's never made it past the first round.
Jaylen Brown, Marcus
Brown.
Smart, and Tatum are fairly young players.
And then Enes Kanter. And Gordon Hayward has never done it either.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But I think we should move on to talking about Vince Carter.
Vince Carter.
So he finally retired. Very sad, but also a very good time for him to do it. Mm-hmm. Because for him to go through all this and then to go another season just because he didn't get that farewell tour.
Yeah. Which,
listen, I'm going to say some controversial things.
Go ahead.
But
let it fly.
I number one thing is I don't want it to ever seem like I don't like Vince Carter. Mm-hmm. Because I love him as a player. I love him as a guy. He's a great guy. He's gone out and mentored a lot of the young Hawks players. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that.
I mean, that's kind of why he's still on a team, is to mentor people and to get his veteran minimum. He's getting his family money, as I've heard.
Yeah.
He's not looking to play 35 minutes a game and put up 25 points a game or anything. He just loves basketball, and he was just playing until he felt he couldn't anymore. So
okay. Now into the controversial stuff.
Okay. Let it fly.
Vince Carter is kind of an overrated player.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I'm going to give him all love after I say this.
Okay.
But, okay. So, in his early years, he did average 20 points per game until, 2010, it looks like. So, until around 2010, except for his rookie season, which was in 1998, 1999, he averaged at least 20 points a game. Mm-hmm. Okay. He was a crazy good rookie.
He won Rookie of the Year.
Okay. But what I'm trying to get at is a big reason he is so highly praised and loved is because of his dunk contest in 2000.
That's definitely part of it. But so I think this is kind of true for all sports and all players and stuff. If people like you more, they're going to perceive you as a better player. And everybody, I don't know a single person that dislikes Vince Carter as a player or as a person or something and thinks he's a bad guy. So people are going to naturally think he's better than what the numbers say or what his play says on the court.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, and he was never a bad player.
No.
But like, okay.
He's an 8-time All-Star, Rookie
Okay.
of the Year, and
So
he's got
yes,
one more.
so he's Rookie of the Year, All Rookie Team, 2-time All NBA, and 8-time All Star. That's it.
yeah.
In
It's
the amount of seasons he's had,
22, I believe.
not 22,
It's 22. I think this was 22.
98. Okay, yes, 98 to
2020.
2019, because the 98 was the back end of the season. So 99 to 2000.
Okay.
So 21
Okay.
and a half.
I just don't feel like he ever. I don't know. His dunking is what has always been the highlight of his game.
He was only ever once the best player on his team,
The Raptors.
the Raptors.
Okay.
Once he got traded to the Nets, Jason Kidd was the best player on that team. So putting that into retrospect, I don't know. Like, is he really a top? Where would you put? Would you say he's top 50 all time?
Top 50 all time. I would.
I'd probably put him in top 50, but towards the low end,
Yeah. I
like
don't know.
in the 40 to 50 range.
There's so many people that have played basketball in NBA
Yeah.
history that it would be difficult to make.
Like, is he better than most players that played from like the 50s to the 70s? Yeah, but
He's definitely above average and closer.
way above average.
Closer to stardom than he is to the bottom of the barrel. But he's
But like,
never.
truly, was he ever an NBA superstar?
No, I don't think so. Maybe on the Raptors some, but I don't think he was ever.
Because like,
I mean, how many times has he been to the playoffs? If you got that in front
I
of you.
don't know.
But I don't think it's that many, and he's never been to the finals that I can think of. So, I just don't feel like he ever. So here's the thing about Vince Carter. I feel like the scoring and defense and stuff you can be really good at all of those, but if you don't make players around you better, then you're probably not a superstar. That's Kyrie's problem. Kyrie's an amazing basketball player, but he does not make people better around him, like LeBron does.
Okay, here we go. He made the playoffs.
He might have been in the finals that one year. The Nets went in 2000 or 2001.
He made the finals 11 times. I mean, not the finals, the playoffs 11
times out of 20.
out of 21 seasons.
So half the time.
But just because you made the playoffs,
I mean,
there's a difference between making the playoffs and like really
and
making the
competing
playoffs.
for
Yeah,
competing for the title, basically. So
and I think he made the finals one time on that 2009.
Nets team or
The 2000. Yeah. Wait.
sorry, I had to burp. Did he go to the finals? Because I don't think he did.
Was he on the finals team with Dwight Howard?
The Magic team?
Yeah.
He might have been.
No, he didn't.
Um,
Anyway.
but yeah, I think Vince Carter is loved by most NBA fans.
Like I said, I like him as
Yeah.
a player and a person. All
But-
I'm saying is he's slightly overhyped.
Yeah, that's an understandable statement and a reasonable thing to say. You're not coming out here saying like LeBron is like 10th all time or something.
Yeah. I mean, okay, he only finished top 10 in MVP voting once. And that
Once
was his second year in the NBA.
was the Raptors Vince. That was the dunk contest year too, so that probably helped him.
And then after 2005, like the other times, he finished 16th in 99, 11th in 2000, 2001, and 13th in 2004, 2005.
I didn't even know they kept track that far down the list
I think they do top 20
for MVP voting.
for MVP voting. Well, they have to get every single player. So they go until no one has voted for the next player. You know what I mean? Because even one vote counts.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be that, a lot of times there's that one guy who's like, I think Nikola Jokic deserved MVP because he had this stat, and this stat.
Yeah.
But, he's second in most minutes played.
I mean, I would hope so at 21. At 21
Oh, and of active players.
of active players.
Of
so
active players. I'm guessing LeBron's first.
Yeah, probably.
And in his career, he is 17th
For minutes?
for minutes played. But listen, let's move on. Let's more focus on the good. Okay. Had probably, in my opinion, the best dunker of all time.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think that's like
Had one of the best dunk contest performances we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Was an electric guy on the floor. Like we said before, he mentors. So on every team past a certain age, he's mentored the young players.
Mm-hmm.
Had one of the greatest dunks ever where he jumped over, not like onto and dunked over him, jumped over a 7-footer in the Olympics. So he definitely deserves the respect. He will be a Hall of Famer just because, in my opinion, it's very easy
I don't think
to
it's
get
easy.
into.
Sorry.
No, you're good. To get into the Basketball Hall of Fame, because it's not just NBA; it's the Basketball Hall of Fame.
I don't think it's like that easy to get in the Hall of Fame, but I don't think it's like the super hard end where it's like the top 5 players.
So, like for example, if I was the head of the Hall of Fame and I got to choose each individual player, I would not put Vince Carter in the Hall of Fame. I also wouldn't put Carmelo Anthony in the Hall of Fame.
Carmelo definitely shouldn't be a Hall of Famer. In my
The only
opinion.
reason he's going to be a Hall of Famer is because he's probably the greatest USA Olympic player of all time. So, you have to put that in retrospect.
One of the greatest pure scorers.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know. He definitely had an amazing career. Was a great college player at UNC. And then won Rookie of the Year. Made the playoffs 11 times, like we said. So he still deserves the credit he gets. But yeah,
we just believe he's a little overrated.
still an amazing player, though. Great mentor, great guy overall.
Literally, any NBA player is an amazing player. So
Well, yeah, but he's just not any NBA player. And I don't think we're not going to see someone with his type of athleticism anymore. Just the explosiveness, you know.
Mm-hmm. I think it's that's why Zion is doing so well. I feel like I don't buy into the Zion train that he's going to be like the next LeBron James, but his athleticism is crazy stupid, and with so much emphasis on shooting nowadays, Zion is bullying people down low.
Yeah, and I think an important thing to remember is that athleticism goes away as you age.
Yeah, that's why Blake Griffin started shooting.
That's why Blake Griffin is so great. That's why Vince was so great, because he could score outside of just his athleticism, you know. So he became, especially in his older years, when he didn't have his athleticism, like when he was on Memphis, for example, he got that pretty decent 3-point shot. So he would have other tools in his arsenal to still be a great player and score at least 10 points a game in his older years. Now, in these past couple of years, he hasn't been playing nearly as many minutes.
He plays
any
like
of that.
10 minutes a game.
Yeah, I think he only averaged like 5 points a game this season. But
he's getting his family money, as I said earlier.
yeah, he's just taking that veteran minimum, everything like that. But I don't know, we're excited for him. I'd like to see him still keep up and find himself in the NBA in some way, whether that's commentating for the Raptors or
doing something like that.
Going on TNT with Shaq and all them and just doing analysis, because you can't be in the NBA and be wanted as long as he has without knowing the game very well.
Yeah.
So he obviously has a knack for the game, everything like that. So, like I said, I'd like to see him continue his work in the NBA. Who knows? Maybe he could be a really good coach.
Did you see that with him retired now, there's no more players that were drafted in the 90s?
Yeah, he's the last one.
He was the last one, so
That's crazy.
that's literally the end of an era.
Neither of us were born in the
yet.
90s. So, because we're both 2000s kids.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 2000,
2001.
2001. But yeah, I'm excited to see what he does past this, everything like that. Like Tate said, it's the end of an era.
Yeah.
So
I think he's going to take a couple years off, maybe 2 or 3, and then come back and do commentating.
Well, I like that D Wade has started doing his thing. He's been on TNT a little bit.
Yeah,
with
like
Shaq
kind of
and all
like that,
them.
where he gets to come in some and talk, and he seems like a pretty fun dude. So I'm sure he'll have something to add to Shaq and Chuck. And
Yeah, he's funny. There's that one clip of him where it's from like a courtside video, but someone recorded it. It was Blake Griffin posting him up, and Vince fouled him. And as he fouled him, Blake did like a fadeaway and made it. And Blake was arguing that he already picked up the ball because they called it on the floor. And then Vince just like sticks his hands up and starts mocking him. So, but yeah, well, I think that's where we're gonna end it today.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good jumping off point.
Yeah, and we will be back. We know we haven't posted in the last month. We've just had kind of rough schedules with everything that's going on vacation and stuff like that. But we're definitely going to start sticking to the one a week.
One a week.
At least.
Yeah, once a week at least. We're going to try to record more than one at a time.
So that we just have extra ones just in case this sort of thing happens again. So, yeah. But
well, we'll see you back next time.
We appreciate you listening.